Okay, so sleep is the most important thing for building serotonin, which is the milk of the body. It converts into melatonin. Um, you may have noticed that we have been providing charts for people to navigate the human hologram from the inside out for a very long time. They actually have to be hung up in the home and used through a daily cycle for people to understand them. But for this brief video, I want to focus on the laying on of hands that you can do if you can't sleep at night, okay? So 1 time per day in a 24-hour cycle, you can focus on opening the colostrum. And so in order to do that, we use the 3 fingers that are often used, well, not often used, but we use them for pulse diagnostics. So if you've ever had acupuncture done, we can measure the flow of the organ systems right here through the wrist. Very different from taking blood pressure. In fact, the blood pressure cuffs create stress in people, and this is completely different. So for now, we're going to focus on your own hands being able to support your own body. This is basic electromagnetism. And so your right hand radiates, your left hand receives. This is electromagnetism. And the more you use your hands, the more these will open. When we begin with these ancient laying on of hands practices with people, we start by opening up the 3 fingers, and eventually your palms will open. And when that happens, you'll be able to use your palms instead of your fingers. But until we get these open, we're going to start with these. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, or if you're having trouble sleeping at all, we want to focus on building serotonin. And in order to do that, we're going to do the main central vertical, which means that we're going to open the electromagnetic flow from the top down, okay? And so you take your right hand and you place it on the top of your head, right on the crown, right on the very top of your head. You're going to put 3 fingers there. And then we're going to take the 3 fingers of the left hand, and those are going to go down the chakra system, which is also the glandular system. And it's best to do this laying down. So when you do this, what you're feeling for is this pulsing. It's not blood pulse, it's an electromagnetic pulse. And the moment you use this hand position, we start to open up colostrum. So for each one of these hand positions, we're just going to keep the right hand here on top of the head. And you want to wait for the hands, the fingers, to pulse together. And they might feel like they're pulsing together the moment you put your hands here, or you may feel nothing. Just be patient, because when you use your hands on your own body, it's going to drop through 10 dimensions. And so often the pulse will be there and then it will disappear. And so you just wait for it to come back. Take a half an hour to do this. And the first time that you do this, you might not feel anything. And as you begin to open this up, once these 2 start to pulse together, we move this hand to the nose, the olfactory. You just let the 3 fingers rest there. You wait for them to pulse, and then you move it to the throat, thyroid, blue. And once these start to pulse, you move it to the thymus. Once these start to pulse, you go down to just inside your rib cage in the solar plexus, and you wait for these to pulse. This is called the main central vertical, and it actually resets the autonomic nervous system really fast. So once these start to pulse, you're going to go just below your belly button, which is the umbilicus. It's connected to the L5 and the adrenal glands. You wait for these to pulse, and then you move this hand down to this bone right here. This is the gonads. And you wait for these to pulse. And once they pulse, you keep the left hand here, and you take this hand and go back around to your sacrum. And this is where the magic happens, because we seal it here. If you're in bed and you have shoulder pain, you can prop your arms up on a pillow, especially the left hand. But once these pulse, you've actually opened up the entire autonomic nervous system, okay? So you can do that once every 24 hours. And I encourage you to do that, because then we can get into the other flows. The other thing that you can do is hold your fingers, okay? Very gently. So if you don't feel like doing the main central vertical, you can just hold your fingers, loose grip, and each one of these digits are connected to the meridian system. So you just hold it gently, and you wait for it to pulse. And then you move here, and here, and here, and here, and then go here, and here, and here, and here, and here. You can even go down to your feet and hold your big toes until they pulse. 3 fingers, thumb on this side. And then you go to these, and these, and these, and these. You can do this on your children. You can do it on your grandparents. It's all about electromagnetism. All right? And so sleep is the key for 2023. When we sleep, we let our avatar heal. And you actually go into lucid dreaming, which gives you more information. We'll get into that more later.